Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. Whatever time zone you're in, thank you for checking out my opinion on Politapod. Today we have a man arrested for using the WhatsApp about his children, talking about his complaining about his children on WhatsApp. So let's check it out and see how this went.
6 police officers came to my house and arrested me. Why? Because I'd been talking about my daughter's school on a WhatsApp group. It was the morning of Wednesday the 29th of January, about 11:45. I was on a Zoom call for a work project, when on my Zoom screen, in the little window where I saw my own face, I realised that 2 police officers were standing behind me. Another 2 police officers were arresting my...
Okay, first off, this has got to be like in the UK or something. This is not in the United States, I don't believe. This is in the United States.
Partner, Rosalind, in front of Francesca, our 3-year-old daughter. They bundled us into the police cars and took us off to custody at Stevenage Police Station, where we remained for the next 12 hours. He arrested me on suspicion of harassment and malicious communications, and it was to do with a dispute with our daughter's primary school, which began with posts on a WhatsApp group. On the 23rd of November 2023, the head teacher of my daughter's primary school announced he would retire. But what seemed strange to me was the Board of Governors decided immediately to appoint the deputy head as acting head 10 months later without even advertising the job. So I made some inquiries. I contacted the chair of governors in private and in good faith and asked her to explain what a rationale was and what was going to happen. Her response, in my opinion, was rather evasive. So I asked again, and I wrote to all the governors asking them to explain what was happening and why they decided to do that.
I think that's a rational, logical thing. You know, just asking a question, get an answer, right?
I posted that letter in a WhatsApp group. It's a private parents' WhatsApp group. On that WhatsApp group, like most parents, we chunted about a few things. One thing we talked about on that group was a letter from the school commanding all parents not to talk about the school on Facebook or social media or WhatsApp groups. We thought that was a bit off. My partner Rosalind made a handful of vaguely spicy comments.
Yeah, that is a bit off. I mean, I don't know what their laws and stuff are over there, wherever they are, UK or Britain, whatever. But I don't know. I mean, that is just a little off. That is a little off. I mean, telling them not to talk about it, that would be first red flag right there. Now, I'm not saying this can't happen and doesn't happen in the United States, but it's happening. That's all I'm saying.
She referred to one school leader as a control freak. She said the chair of governors didn't know much about anything. Out of the blue, on the 12th of July last year, the chair of governors wrote to Rosalind and me. She accused us of posting disparaging and inflammatory comments on WhatsApp and Facebook, and she warned us that if we didn't stop, she would ban us from our daughter's school. So we pushed back. We complained. We denied the accusations. We complained that they'd been accessing our messages, and 2 days later, they banned us from the school. Now, this ban had really serious implications for our daughter, Sasha. She has epilepsy, she's disabled, she has special needs. We weren't allowed to have normal conversations with the school. We could only send emails. So we had to send emails about...
Yeah, this is just a bunch of rubbish. This just doesn't sound right, completely right at all. There's something up with this, and I hope there's a good investigation going on with it. I mean, again, like I said, I don't know their laws over there, but this is just wrong. And it seems like, you know, people are getting in their feelings about something. It's just wrong.
Everything our daughter needed for her health and education. We were going through the school's formal complaints policy, and then on the 20th December, there was a knock on the door. It was a police officer. He showed up completely out of the blue. He told me in no uncertain terms not to contact the school, not to speak to anybody about the head teacher recruitment issue. He even told me to take my daughter out of the school. In the end, we gave up, I suppose. We took Sasha out of the school. We arranged a transfer to another local primary school. Sasha's last day at Cowley Hill was the 24th of January. 5 days later, the police turned up. When we were finally interviewed, the detective, who'd had no previous involvement with the case, he turned out not to have any evidence of those alleged crimes. He had no documents, he had no first-hand accounts. He just had a vague statement from the acting head teacher at the school. It was
It's been 2 years.
It's just, oh, wow.
Since that disaster struck, the city's population is now sparse. In an effort to escape the monsters,
Kafka-esque.
I do have to get premium on this channel. Maybe. Anyway, but it's just wrong. No evidence, no nothing. They just come, take him out of his house, and because the school said so.
It was surreal, it was bizarre, it was horrific. Eventually, we were put on police bail and discharged at midnight. We got a £75 cab back to our house in Borehamwood. About 2 or 3 days later, a kind of PTSD began to kick in. I mean, did that really happen? Even now, 2 months later, when I see a police car go by somewhere near our house, I shudder. I think, are they coming back for us again? Eventually, we got a call from the detective in charge of the case. He said to Rosalind, "We're taking it no further." I have found no evidence for these offences. And that was it. It was over. And even now, we still don't know what we're meant to have said or done, which was so terrible, or justified sending 6 police officers to our house. I don't know if we're the first parents to get our collars felt by the police for putting a school's nose out of joint, but I hope we're the last.
Hertfordshire Police has said, following reports of harassment and malicious communications, which are criminal offences, a man and a woman from Borehamwood, both aged in their 40s, were arrested on Wednesday, 29 January. The arrests were necessary to fully investigate the allegations, as is routine in these types of matters. Following further investigations, officers deemed that no further action should be taken due to insufficient evidence.
Wow. So they're not going to do anything to investigate either half. They have no information, no evidence, nothing. So they're just like, okay, this was just a scare tactic. Don't do it again. This is a warning. Don't talk about the school. Don't do anything involving the school, or else we're going to come after you. Next time it's going to be worse. I don't know if that's the case or not, but it seems to be that way to me.
A spokesperson for Hertfordshire County Council said an interim head was appointed for the one term to allow time for a proper recruitment process to be carried out. The role was advertised publicly and the recruitment was supported by external professional advisors. We are confident that this was a fair, transparent and timely process. A Cowley Hill primary school spokesperson has said, "We sought advice from the police following a high volume of direct correspondence and public social media posts from 2 parents, as this was becoming upsetting for staff, parents and governors. We're always happy for parents to raise concerns, but we do ask that they do this in a suitable way and in line with the school's published complaints procedure."
So you can't talk about nothing. You can't talk about nothing. You can't. You can't talk about nothing in the school. Oh, you can't talk about the school. You can't talk about what they do in the school. You can't talk about the teachers. You have to do it under their guidelines. It's from, I don't know. But that's insane to me. That is really insane to me. So, but that's how they do their operations over there. And hopefully they can get justice and they can get it all figured out. But if you have any more information on this, please just let me know. That would be nice to, see it down in the comments. Put it down in the comments and whatever, comment that you want to put down there, because you're allowed to say stuff, just not be hateful. That's just wrong. But anyway, that's all we have for today. I'll see you next time. Later.